Sirius Snippets is generously sponsored by Saka Family, by Yalad of Informant for Refuah Shlema for Adasa Racha Bas Chana Golda, Modim Derabanan. So does a person have to stand for Modim Derabanan? For those who have the minhag to sit for Chazar Sashatz, a completely legitimate minhag, must one stand for Modim Derabanan? If the answer is yes, one does stand for Modim Derabanan. How much of Modim Derabanan do you stand for? You see a lot of people do the old nod. They give a little bit of I don't even know how to describe it. 2-inch lift off the seat, Modim Anachnu Lach, and they're back to reclining, back to sitting comfortably. Does that count for standing if one needs to stand? So in the Sefer Das Noteh, which are the psakim, the psak halacha of Rav Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal, it's published by his son, Rav Yitzchak Shoel Kanievsky. He said that Modim Derabanan has the status of Chazar Sashatz. It's not the silent Amidah. We finished that. We were Yotzei that. It has the status of Chazar Sashatz. Just like the Chazan leads the Chazar Sashatz, when we say our own Modim parallel to his, it is an extension of Chazar Sashatz. Chazan can't sit when he's repeating the Amidah. The Chazan doesn't sit for Chazar Sashatz, so neither should the one who's saying Modim Derabanan, and therefore it's not enough to just stand at the beginning of Modim, but one should rise for the entire Modim, everybody, even though all are answering Modim Derabanan. It's Ke'ilu, everyone there, everyone in the Tzibur has the status of the Shliach Tzibur, at least for that paragraph of Modim Derabanan. What if you're not in the minyan? Do you have to interrupt for Modim Derabanan? Let's say you're sitting and learning in that room, in an adjacent room. Let's say you're not up to that part of the davening. So do you interrupt in order to respond? You would interrupt to respond to Kedusha. If you're in the room sitting and learning, and the minyan gets up to Kedusha, you'd stand and you'd say Kedusha with the Tzibur. If the minyan gets up to Baruch Hu, you'd stand and you'd recite, you'd answer Baruch Hu with the Tzibur. So does Kaddish Derabanan have the same status? And Rav Chaim Kanievsky said yes. One would interrupt their learning, one would interrupt what they're up to in davening, which is the appropriate space, in order to respond to Modim Derabanan. It would have that status as well. So with that, let's get into the text itself. Modim Anachnu Lach Shata Hashem Elokeinu V'Kei Avaseinu. Those opening 9 words are the same in Modim Derabanan and in Modim. We recognize with complete clarity that Hashem has hashkacha, Hashem has divine providence, specific providence, pratis, and that His hashkacha transcends all generations. Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu. Hashem, you're our God, you're intimately involved in our lives. Nothing that happens to us is random, chance, or coincidence. It's all carefully choreographed and curated from above. And not only in our lives, that is true and goes back, Elokei Avoseinu, for the generations, for those who came before as well. And then we deviate. Now Modim Derabanan takes on its own text. We just described Hashem as Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu, our God, and the God of those who came before. But then we broaden the circle, and we say Elokei Kol Basar. Elokei Kol Basar means you're the God of our forefathers, of our mothers and our fathers and our babis and our zaydis, but not only the God of the Jewish people, Elokei Kol Basar. You are the source, and you will all of existence. Kol Basar, all of humanity, all human beings. Everyone is Nivra B'Tselem. Chavav Yisrael, the Jewish people, we have a special status, but really everyone is called Tselem, everyone is Tselem Elokim. You are the Elokei Kol Basar, you are the God, and you are the source, and all defer and surrender and submit to you with gratitude. Not only Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu, specifically, but then more generally, Elokei Kol Basar. And then we describe Hashem as Yotzreinu. You formed us, not just Boreinu, but Yotzreinu. You formed us, you fashioned us. Yotzer Bereshis. You didn't just fashion us, who we are, our uniqueness, our particularity, our exceptionalism. Yotzreinu, you fashioned us with a mission, a purpose, a mandate. There's a reason we're here. Yotzer Bereshis. You fashioned, you created all of Bereshis, all of this world, the whole universe, the cosmos, all of existence. Now, what tense is the word Yotzer? Okay, let's process of elimination. There's past, present, and future. Present, correct. Yotzer is Lashon Hova. It is the present tense. If we're thanking God for having created the world, that was 5,785 years ago. So why do we use the present tense, Yotzer Bereshis? Because Baruch Hu, you create, you fashion, you form the world. Well, we already said it in our introduction to Shema. In the Birchas Kriya Shema, we described Hashem as Mechadish B'chol Yom Tamid Masa Bereshis. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in an ongoing way, wills the world into existence. We only continue to exist because Hashem wills it. On Wednesday mornings, we're learning Tanya. We're far from up to this, but the Baal Tanya describes. We've shared this before. If I were to tell you to close your eyes and picture something, close your eyes and picture a red sports car. Does the red sports car exist? In your imagination, kol zman that you imagine it. The red sports car exists in your imagination so long as you continue to imagine. If you open your eyes, you get distracted, you start listening again, you stop thinking about that image, does it continue to exist? Not even in your imagination, because your relationship with it is over. The Baal Tanya says similarly, but different of course, Kiviyachol, Kadosh Baruch Hu wills our existence. He wills us to exist. The moment He would, so to say, take His attention away, the moment He would cease to will us to exist, we wouldn't exist. That's Mechadish B'chol Yom Tov B'yom Chol Yom Tamid Masa Bereshis. Consistently, constantly, He has to continue to will our existence. He creates and recreates and renews creation. And if He stopped the relationship with creation that created, if He didn't will our existence, we would no longer exist. So Hashem is not just Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu. He's Elokei Kol Basar. He's the God of all flesh, of all of humanity. And not only of all humanity, He's Yotzreinu, He created, He formed us. And Yotzei Bereshis, everything, the mountains, the valleys, the hills, all of the globe, all the terrain, all of the heavens, and all of the seas and the oceans. Yotzei Bereshis, Kadosh Baruch Hu is the source of it all. Not only the source of it, then He moved on to another project. He is the source with an ongoing relationship that if He ceased that relationship, we would cease to exist, which is why it's B'lashon Hova in the present tense, Yotzei Bereshis. And for all that, our God, God of our fathers, Kol Basar, Yotzreinu, Yotzei Bereshis, Brachos v'hodos. For that, we have endless and boundless gratitude. Why is it in the plural? Brachos v'hodaos. What's the difference between brachos v'hodaos? We'll continue with the Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow night.